Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about collapsing timelines. Is there something you want that feels like it's taking a long time to get to you? Well, I've got some cool hacks for you for collapsing these timelines. Time is this thing that is very malleable, and we can play with it, and we can look just throughout our lives to see the evidence of this. The phrase time flies when you're having fun is very real. What makes something feel like it goes faster and what makes something feel like it drags on? It's not just a feeling, it's a reality. And the more you play with this and lean into it, the more rapidly things will happen for you. So time is relative to the thing, okay? This is the fun part. So we can collapse time around one thing while letting the time of something else be right where it's at. So you can, like, say here's your age, right? This is your age. This is your lifeline. This is something that you want, right? And it might be out here on the timeline of when you're 90. But if you want to collapse the timeline around the thing that you want, you can do that while still having the timeline of your age be the same. Does that make sense? You're still going to have that. You're not collapsing all of time and shortening that. You're collapsing you're pretty much collapsing your resistance to this thing, and that can make it happen at lightning speed. Remember to like and subscribe if this information is fun for you. So I have a story. On this island, you can drive to different parts of it. And I do this drive periodically because I like this one side of the island. It's got a different vibe. I'll go over there often. I have friends over there. And the drive over there always surprises me because it's quite a ways away, but I'm always like, oh, I'm here. And the drive back is the same way. I'm always like, oh, I'm here. But the other day I was driving back and I had a stomach ache. Something was wrong. My stomach was in so much pain. And when I got into the car, I was like, okay, I'll get to that intersection and then I'll get there and there. It won't take long. I'll be home. The drive felt like it took 2 hours instead of 25 minutes. And I noticed everything I was doing to stretch out time. I was thinking of the next goalpost and what I needed to do. And I was thinking of the speed bumps through my neighborhood and how that was going to slow me down. And I started going into all these thoughts, and it literally stretched out the timeline so much that it felt like a 2-hour drive. And so suffering, right? Being in that suffering state, being in that, oh, I need to get there. How long is it going to be? Jumping ahead state. This is what we do when we're trying to manifest. This is what we do when we're moving towards our dreams, whether we want love or wealth or success or health. We're like, we're doing the same thing that I did in the car because we're trying to get away from our own suffering, right? I was trying to get away from this feeling in my stomach. I just wanted to get some hot tea and be home. But in that tension and that thought form, time went like this. And so I realized that the best way to collapse time is to be in the moment and enjoy the moment. And that we have to play with this. In certain moments in life, it's going to be a little harder, but you can always lean into it. I know there are ways I could have just relaxed, let go. I might have even said, you know what, I'm going to stop and get a tea or rubbed my belly. There was a way that I could have dropped in and collapsed the timeline and made things easier on myself, but I didn't. I was just like, I need to get home. Does any of this resonate for you guys, for maybe how you've gone towards your goals or your dreams in ways that has actually made it harder for you because you wanted it, you needed it, you felt the lack of it, you were just like getting there, and instead of stopping and nourishing yourself and doing what you needed for you and finding a way to have the journey be easier and enjoy it more, you're like hell-bent on getting there. And this is actually what's, I'm getting chills right now, this is actually what's making it to where you're further and further away from it, and it's harder and harder. And I was noticing when I was driving, it's like the way that these drives feel so fast for me is I'm in the moment. I'm in my imagination. I listen to music. I'm having fun. I'm taking that time out for me. I'm like, I'm in this container of this car and I'm enjoying having this be my time for me. And I also like the feeling of forward movement. So when you're driving in the car, you get to have that forward movement. I'm just having this time. I love driving. I love driving. I love my car. I've loved every car I've owned because it offers such a freedom. So that collapses time, right? Time flies when you're having fun, you guys. And time between you and what you want collapses when you start having fun in your movement towards it. And that might look like just pausing to nourish yourself and take your eye off the goal for a little bit. Or it might look like finding ways to play and have fun on your way towards the goal instead of being so hell-bent on getting it. That is the first way to start collapsing timelines, is to start having some fun and nourishing yourself and finding a way to enjoy the journey. The second way is to change the past. No big deal, right? One of my favorite things to do with clients and myself, and it is freakishly effective, is to go into a timeline in your past and change it. So let's say right now you want to manifest a bucket of money. You want to manifest X amount of money, right? You need to feel into all the resistance around that, like, ugh, what's the ick feeling? And then go back into the memory that pops up around money. It's going to be somewhere in your childhood. It's going to have something to do with mom or dad, likely dad, but I'll leave that up to you guys. And you're going to go into that memory. You're going to feel all the ick around, let's say, dad's resistance around money or his negative relationship with money. And you're going to clear all that. I use EFT tapping and energy clearing and a bunch of cool stuff to clear that out. Even when I'm working on myself, I'll do that. And then you're going to create a new memory in its place. You're going to dissolve that old memory and create a new one. And this is going to ripple through your timeline and go into your cells and your belief system. And you're not going to have to fight to receive and believe in abundance and believe your worth, because that new old picture, you created a new past for yourself, right? Can you imagine growing up with parents who were wired for wealth and feeding you that throughout your whole, come on, brain. They're feeding you that throughout your whole life, so it's integrated. That's what you get to do when you change your past. Yeah, these are my timeline hacks, you guys. If you want to get out of the struggle and the separation from what you want, play a little. Go change the past. I never know how to end these, but I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you go play, and I hope you take this information, play with it, and get out of the information-itis that everyone's experiencing, where they just look at stuff and go, oh, good idea, good idea, good idea. Like, play with this, and like and subscribe and check out the website. And if you want to work with me, I just opened up some spots for February and March. Okay, guys, have fun.